And you've just heard Ammunition by the Girobabies with Shuggy Mungo. And I'm so pleased to be joined by Girobabies mainstay, Mark McGhee. Hello, Mark.
Hello, and thank you for having me on the show, mate. Big fan, so it's good to be here. Thank you.
It's great to have you on as well, especially with all the stuff we're going to be talking about. But before we get into all things Girobabies, tell us about that collaboration with Shuggy Mungo.
Yeah, that was recent. That was January. So I've just been doing a few collaborations, and Dougie sent me this song, mostly done. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the original.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, it's a Mickey Nines song, and Dougie's also the singer Mickey Nines. But he's got a new project called Shuggy Mungo. He asked me if I wanted to do something, so we just worked very quickly. There was a big deadline, and we just got it. We just it happened very fast, and it's out, and now it's turned out well. And Shuggy Mungo will be playing the Gyro's farewell party as well on the 28th of March at Art School.
No, I did not know that's who Shuggy Mungo was, so that is really interesting, because that's a man who likes a new project.
Yeah, he's got too many projects, but I think because obviously he's had a few since Mickey. Mickey Nines is still doing, still keeping busy. But he's a very consistent songwriter. So I think, and then you've got Ants, who's the guitarist. He's been doing really well with Popo Cops as well. Right. So they're just they've got lots of. I think the idea is to bring all these projects together under the name Shuggy Mungo, which is a full band. So nobody's seen them live yet. The full band experience will be their first gig, is it, or last gig, basically. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I mean, as you've hinted there, and one of the reasons I'm so glad to have you on is that we are kind of entering the end days for Girobabies.
Very much so. It was our second last rehearsal on Saturday there. Hendo came in the studio. I don't know if you know Hendo, but he's doing really well just now with Everyone to Kenmure Street documentary.
Yep.
So he came along and he got a little bit of footage, and that's on our YouTube channel just now. So yeah, it's starting to feel real now, because we've got one more dress rehearsal with everybody, because we've got some special guests and stuff. And then that's it. It's just a big gig, and then that is it. Not everyone's believes me that this is the last Gyro's gig, but it definitely is.
And how are you feeling about it now that you're kind of faced with it happening? I mean, I know you do a lot of other things, but
yeah. I mean, I suppose in some ways it's a little bit emotional, because the band's been around for so long, so it's been a massive part of my life. But in other senses, I think you can't do things by halves. You've got to give your all, and the amount of work it takes to do this band is quite a lot. And I was wondering how I'd feel once the festival lineup started coming out and we're not on any of them.
Aye.
But I don't care. I like it. I've got my summer back for the first time in a while. So I'm looking forward to maybe just having a normal summer where I can just go to things that I want to go to, rather than it's just been every week. Every weekend's been packed out for I don't know how many years. And it's been. I love festival season. It's really fun, but it's just I think the freedom, the freedom to just actually have your summer back is quite exciting. And right now I'm really enjoying just collaborating with people.
Sure.
Finishing a Jackal Trades album probably.
Right.
And we've actually got a B-sides album that may or may not be out by the end of the month. The Sunday Replacement Service, I think it's going to be called, because we've got loads of wee songs kicking about. We couldn't really find them a home for any of the previous albums. So I'm just kind of working between the B-sides album, the Jackal Trades collaborations. I'm still keeping the pen sharp, working on a book, and maybe in the future I'll do a new band, but probably less noisy with less band members is probably. What I think, maybe I could have a stool.
Just you. But I mean, you say that. I've seen you doing open mic nights and spoken word nights as well. You've done a wee bit of kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I went through a phase of this. The spoken word thing was. I actually got quite good at that for a while. It's one of those things you need to practice to be good.
Yeah.
So I did do a few gigs. I did do a few gigs for the I released a lyric book. Well, it's a little bit of memoir, but it's mostly just a lyric book called If by Magic at the start of the year. And yeah, we performed that. I performed that about 3 gigs with that, and that was quite good because it's more like spoken word, some stories, and then I had Gordy Duncan with me, who's been really busy this year. He did a few gigs with me on guitar, and he's originally our drummer, but he can play an instrument. So yeah, but that feels quite good because you only have one other person to worry about,
sure,
and it's a lot slower paced. And yeah, you can sit down if you want.
So tell us a bit about the book, because that's interesting. Is that kind of go into the history of Girobabies, or is it just lyrics? What's the situation?
So well, I originally thought it'd be quite a good idea because I knew. So shouts to Lucy at Salamander Street Publishing. They do amazing work. So Lucy had offered I think it was for the Jackal Trades album, run about lockdown time. And at the time, that album was called At This Point. So it was going to be At This Point Part 2. It was going to be like a double album. And I ended up scrapping that album. So that never really happened. But I was like, well, if all the Gyro's lyrics are pretty much finished now, because Dreams Are Mental's out. And I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea to just bring a lyric book together. And then Lucy encouraged me or told me to give a bit of history to each song. So it actually became a lot more. It became a bit more work than I had first. I was just like, I'll just copy and paste some lyrics, and it'll be an easy project. But I just basically give a bit of background to each song. We couldn't do every song because where's the cutoff point? Because we were releasing singles back in the MySpace era.
Yeah,
are they singles? So I kind of just stuck with the 4 albums. And yeah, just what I remember about the song, it was quite a difficult process because you don't want to give away too much of the meaning, because music can mean so much. Once you put it into the world, other people can perceive it differently, and I don't want to take that magic away from people.
Yeah.
So, so it was about giving the background to the lyrics, the songs, and who would record with them, what my memories of the song was, and maybe giving a little bit of information to it without going too deep into the meaning of it.
Yeah.
So, it has been sort of said a part memoir, part lyric book, I suppose. But I'm working on a real novel just now.
Okay.
But this is more like a kind of thing you can pick up and just skip through it and play all the songs in the background, and so people seem to be enjoying it, which is a relief.
Where can people pick it up?
It's on Salamander Street Publishing's website. It's in Waterstones, eBay, Amazon, just all good and all evil bookstores, I think. And if you want
sorry, you're going to be selling it at the gig?
Yes, I should have some for the gig. I've sold it. So we're also selling them in Bandcamp, but I've sold it twice, which is amazing. But I need to get more. Right now, I don't have any, but hopefully Lucy can send us another wee package in time for the art school on the 28th. Yeah, hopefully.
So, talking about the gig, can you tell us what you've got planned for it? You've already said Shuggy Mungo's going to be playing, but any other surprises that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I can tell you some stuff. There's a few surprises that I'm not even aware of yet, because over the years we have had a lot of band members.
Yeah.
So I pretty much invited a lot of them. So hopefully we'll have some surprise guests that I'm not aware of yet. But support-wise, we've got Shuggy Mungo from the Mickey Nines. We've got Mima Merrill, who also plays keys with us. We've got 2 keyboard players. We've got both Mima Merrill and Josephine Sillers play. So they usually take shots each, kind of like in a part-time shift together, but they both turn up for the big ones, like when we play the Barras or whatever. They'll come in. So we've got double keys. So Mima Merrill's band, and I don't know if you've heard a lot of their new stuff, Alistair, but it's amazing. It's because obviously Mima Merrill had that an amazing album, Almost Home, during lockdown.
Yep.
And it's very ballady, beautiful Irish vocals, very lyrically good as well. But nowadays she's got 7 caped crusaders. They're all wearing capes. There's 7 of them, and they're just turned into a sort of a more rock and roll, maybe even a hint of grunge, but really kind of epic female harmonies, and yeah, they blew me away at Knockengorrick, and they played as a gig at St Luke's as well, and I didn't expect them to be. I mean, I knew they would be good, but really good. So, although I was a wee bit hesitant, I don't usually like having my other band members playing on the same night as us, because they can maybe get distracted. But she assures me, she's very professional, and she assures me she'll do it. Also, Mark, our guitarist, I think, is playing with Shuggy Mungo as well. Right. So it's a busy shift for them.
It's been a while since I've seen any bands with capes on. I think you might have to go back to the prog in the 70s or something like that.
Golden capes, no less. Golden capes. So that's the support acts. And then the after party we have, we weren't sure where to do it, but the Vic Bar is going to host us. So the good thing about that is that it is going to be over 18s, which I know upset a few people that want to bring the youngins with them, but we had an issue with our album launch whereby 10:30 curfew, and because we don't, we've got a lot of songs, but I'm a big believer, and I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to watch a band playing for 2 hours. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, no, I mean, after this weekend was great. Obviously, apart from it took me 3 days to get home because of the travel chaos, but it was good to hear old songs sounding so good, and sort of reimagine some of it. So yeah, I think what I would say is if you're more familiar with our newer stuff, then maybe reacquaint yourself with the earlier stuff, because we're just wanting to have a sort of, I suppose, a greatest hits of sorts.
Yeah.
And you can't always, it's not like you can just look down on paper and go, that's the greatest hits, because every musician plays it a bit differently. So we just really worked hard to see what is sounding good, rather than what on paper's the songs that maybe has the most plays or the most the best reaction in the past. It's just about getting what is the best songs for this current lineup of musicians, and they were amazing at the weekend. I feel a lot more confident after that one. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Did going back and doing the book and looking at the lyrics from years ago, some of them, did that help you kind of pick what you were going to do for the gig?
I think it did a little bit. Like it reminded me of songs that maybe I had just forgotten about a little bit. So yeah, it was a really interesting trip down memory lane, because there's some of the songs and some of the stories. Like, I was quite lucky. I could remember recording every song, and I can remember the feeling that went into each song. So it was a good trip down memory lane. I don't know if it affected the songs that we picked. It maybe affected the songs that I took into the studio that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
Some songs don't carry. Some songs are just different now. And some songs, I mean, you've got to remember, we don't know exactly when this band started. Nobody can figure it out.
Right.
We've tried asking every band member that was from the original guys, and we think it's maybe 2008 that we started. We think that's as close as we can nail it down to, because there's a flyer from us playing in 2009. So it's a while ago now. It's a while ago. But yeah, it's been. So some of the lyrics, I suppose, some of the commentary that I maybe had there. I mean, you got to remember, I was really young, and I was coming from a scheme, so it was a little bit different. And also, I ran with comedy quite a lot in the early days, because I'm from a place where you would get slagged for being in a band. Or do you think you're getting high, getting above your station? You're getting, you think you're a rock and roll star? Do you think you're Liam Gallagher? So I kind of hid behind the sort of comedy side of things for a while, just so that I could just say, "Oh, it was a joke. I was just joking." So we are bringing some of the fun. There is some of the fun ones from the early days will be there, because I do believe in don't take yourself so seriously. I love bands like Super Furry Animals, the Beta Band, who can make beautiful music, but at the same time still have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
And you can't second guess what they're going to do next. So that's always that was kind of my inspiration.
I was going to ask you if you could give us a kind of brief history of the Girobabies, but it sounds as though it's a bit muddled in the mists of time. Some of it, anyway.
Well, it's very muddled, but I suppose really it started with me and Hazy. We both get sacked from a call centre about the same time, and we'd been talking about this band for ages. We had the name first,
right?
And I had the name before I even knew Hazy, and I'd been writing lyrics secretly, but I didn't have the confidence then. Just a lot of bereavements happened. Really, it was just like there was I think I went about 8 funerals in a year, and I just thought life's short. I'm just going to give it a go. And we went for it. Martin Ewan joined us on bass. We had he put an advert in Carrollton Studios to find a drummer. That sort of, and then Claude joined. So we kind of had that was the sort of the early days. And then that was just Social Not Working, and even Bust Out Apocalypse was kind of me and Hazy did that. And then Robbie Gunn came into the band, and he was phenomenal. He also contributed quite a lot to Bust Out Apocalypse.
Right.
But I would say Who Took Utopia it was me and him that did that album. And then by that point, we'd sort of Gordy Duncan had joined the band, and we had a really strong sort of. We played most of our gigs that era with McCrory, and then Jody Ark from the Twistettes joined, and we added some keyboards. And yeah, so I'd say although we have had, I think, 60 band members, there's only really 3 bands. There was 3. I would say I only see it as like there being 3 different bands. There's 3 different eras.
Right.
And when I say band members, it's just, sometimes you just need a session musician in for a couple of gigs, because I realised very early on that you don't get anything done by trying to wait for 5 people to agree to a festival that's in 7 months' time.
Yeah.
So what I just started doing was booking the gigs that I wanted to do, and then trying to get the first team to do it.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. The first team, get the first team out.
Get the first team out. If not, we've got. But it's important to have a strong squad.
A strong bench.
A strong bench. You definitely need a strong bench for festival season. You need a strong stomach as well.
And how has kind of making and releasing music changed over the years for you? Have you noticed quite a lot of differences?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, when we first started, we were just making songs every day and just uploading it to MySpace.
Yeah.
So I think that was quite a good introduction to, well, just the getting that instant reaction to music was helpful, even though the songs were not good. It was good to get that instant reaction. And also, we got a lot of hatred earlier on. We got a lot of popularity earlier on. And that's quite good. There was a great show called, I don't know if you know Old Jock Radio, but they used to do a thing called the Demo Dump,
right?
Where if you put your song on that, basically everybody that listened just tried to outdo each other with witty takedowns. Sure. So I think that was quite a good start to get destroyed. And then I think that set me up quite nicely for criticism.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there was actually a little bit of a golden era for I can only speak for ourselves, but I know a lot of other bands at our level felt the same. There was a golden era of Bandcamp whereby we weren't famous enough for people to upload us to LimeWire or any of the torrent sites.
Sure.
So you couldn't really steal on music, and people wanted to support it. So people were downloading things digitally. They were buying CDs, and streaming has killed that. Really, Spotify's killed that completely. We're established enough that we look like we have managed to sell some albums, and we did, but the general punt on the street has just got an app on their phone that has all the songs anyway.
Yeah.
So we didn't put our album on Spotify till I think we released our album in February. If you bought it in Bandcamp last year,
right?
And we didn't put it on Spotify till about September, I think. So that I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, because it meant that a lot of potential radio shows that maybe that we wouldn't have thought to hit up, or potential, people just wouldn't have heard the album because they might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also it ruins the hype for because obviously Spotify is designed on the algorithm getting more streams. So by the time September came around, anybody who listens to us that really liked us had already bought the CD, the vinyl, or they'd listened to the album. Sure. So our numbers were actually, instead of inflated numbers, we had deflated numbers.
Aye.
Which means that the algorithm isn't going to show it to other people. But we boycotted Spotify for about 5 years before or longer. I think we started using it in about 2019, I think. So yeah, we boycotted it before it was cool, but it got to the stage that everybody that I know in my age group was using the app, and I felt like you had to be on there. So this was the kind of the middle ground. I was like, I don't really. I mean, I use Spotify, as you know. I do a radio show. I'm a booker as well, so I get sent music all the time, and it's usually in Spotify and YouTube. So I need to have premium for both, because it's kind of like life's too short for adverts, and I've got to constantly using these apps. But I thought as an artist, I didn't really want to use it. But so the middle ground to me was let's reward people who support us. If they get to hear the music first. If you like the band, here's 4 singles. If you think that's the kind of thing you'd like, then please buy the album. And just trying to encourage people to, to buy an album, support the band, and get back to physical products, which I know that you're a fan of as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. I was thinking about the time that you've been releasing music, and when I started doing the website, it was still getting sent CDs that people had made themselves, and the cover was themselves. It was a lot of DIY stuff, which was just tremendous. And of course, that's kind of dropped off a cliff. But I remember when you got in touch with me about Dreams Are Mental, and thinking, this is an interesting way of trying to do it. You're almost saying, for you fans who want to support us, like you were saying, going way back, you still can do that. And then, it's almost like you have to get it up there as well so people can find it.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and I don't know if I made the right decision. So I'd never tell another artist how to do it. Because
I don't think there is a right way of doing it. I think you just got to try your best.
Yeah, the music industry is a series of disappointments. So just whatever you do, it won't work. So just pick a path and enjoy.
Is that part of the reason that you're kind of knocking Girobabies on the head? Because it is almost, it seems to me that people have to spend as much on promotion than they do on making the music and all sorts of things. And there's kind of barriers put in your way.
Yeah, well, it's, from a working class background and your skin, it's really difficult to make it work. And yeah, it's, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. I could be here all day telling you my reasons for stopping it, but it does feel like it's a tough time. And I know the kind of work it takes to, like, how much effort we did in promoting that album. And now basically I'd be at the stage where I'd have to start working on the next album and then promote it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, when I'm looking at all these lyrics for 2008, it's a different person. It's a different band. And I just feel like I think after Who Took Utopia, there was an opportunity there to stop the band. But I think I was stubborn and I wanted to make another album. I wanted to prove it wasn't a fluke, and it took ages because we kept on changing band members. There was a bit of a lockdown going on, and that seemed to take out a bunch of years out of people's lives as well.
Yeah.
So it took ages, but when we actually got the right, me and Mark finally got some to just jam together and together, the album came together actually quite quickly. But yeah, you're constantly just you've got to invest in yourself all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't have money to keep investing in myself and then hoping it comes good.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously we are established enough that we're doing okay compared to some other bands.
Right.
We're actually very lucky compared to some other bands. But when you add up all the time and effort that goes into it all, and at festival season, you're traveling down to Sheffield to play to a couple hundred people or whatever, and you're driving down there for a day, you're driving to the next day, your weekend's gone, you maybe need a day to recover. It's maybe longer as you get older,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of time and effort, and I suppose I feel like we've maybe and I'm not talking for the music scene as a whole because I can't, but maybe for us, I think we've maybe hit that glass ceiling where, as an underground artist, the only way that we could go forward is with investment that we don't have.
Yeah.
And it ends up becoming gambling at one point.
Aye.
And I'm certainly not paying for sponsored ads for the Girobabies. It kind of goes against for that particular band. But you never, I think to start a new project from scratch would be interesting. But I think also we've people would maybe seen us 15 years ago and we would have been drunk and rubbish, and they've probably just held that against us since then. So I just think it just feels like it's time. I'm taking a year out, but then I think I will do when they do another band, but just really think about how I want it to sound and what kind of.
And I think that's interesting, being a different person today than you were when you started.
Oh, aye, 100%.
A huge thing. But what about yourself then? I mean, you mentioned a novel. You've got the radio show. You call that radio. What have you got plans for yourself that are outside of the band?
Yeah, well, the you call that radio's been great. So yeah, that's an audio podcast or a YouTube channel. So doing that, lots of events coming up. I'm booking some tours for other people just now as well, which has been interesting. In fact, Becky Wallace we just announced her tour last week. Excellent. So if anybody's wanting to book a tour, then give us a shout. I can do that. But I've just I've kind of left the city. I think it was the last year of the Chinese New Year. It's the year of the snake or whatever they call it. It's shedding your skin.
Aye.
So I've shed everything. I've shed the band. I've shed relationships. I've shed the city. So I'm living rurally now. And hopefully I'll hopefully just get a little bit more remote work and stuff like that, and really just want to just knuckle down and for a year at least, just live a quiet life and get the book done, and maybe focus more on You Call That Radio and stuff like that, and also writing. I'm writing. I'm still making music.
Yeah,
there will be. I would imagine there'll be a Jackal Trades album this year. There should be the Gyros B-side album this year, and just loving collaborating with people. So not when people may ask me for collaborations, I'm usually too busy, but I'm prioritizing that just now as well, and just finding the magic of writing again, and the magic of creation without there being an entire concept album that surrounds it and a deadline. And then also just the pressure of knowing that you've got 17 gigs to play that year. So that's kind of the plan. I've been very social my whole life, so it's just time for a wee
step back. Yeah. Mark, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. All the best with the final show and the books, plural, it sounds, and for the future.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me on the show, and I appreciate all the hard work you put into promoting artists. So thanks for having us on the show.
Oh, no bother at all. And this is Girobabies from the album Dreams Are Mental and This Not Circus.